Hello and happy Friday, everybody. Okay, so it is time to get to our essay revision section. Okay, specifically, this is going to be for both the 7th and 8th graders about your essays. I have already received some papers from people and I've already returned them. And then I've already gotten them back and I've already returned them again because people aren't changing what they submit to me. That's not going to fly. Okay. When I send something back to you to be revised, I tell you exactly what I want to see revised and I expect it to be done. If it is not changed, you can expect a lower grade, even lower than the one that I would have given you had you not revised it. Had I not sent it back to you for revision in the first place. Okay. Because at that point, you're just wasting my time. All right. I will send you your essays back for revision. Every single person is probably going to get it unless it's really just that good. If it's like a 90% or above, I'm just going to let it fly. But really, even B papers or C papers, I'm going to return to you for revisions. Okay. I want you to make those changes. So how do you make those revisions? The revising phase is very important. Typically, people go pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, and publishing. The problem is they usually skip that revising phase. They go straight from their draft to editing. Okay. Usually what people will finish their rough draft and then they will go and be like, okay, I have to fix my spelling and grammar and punctuation and blah, blah, blah. Okay. No, don't do that, because if you decide later that you don't like a paragraph where it is or the details aren't good, then you went and edited and changed all those things for nothing. So I'm going to give you an example now of how to revise a paper that one might have written in the personal narrative essay. This is also going to apply for those of you who are writing the informative essay. Okay, so just pay attention. Please take a look at this paragraph. You can pause the video now and try to find how many mistakes it has. Okay, I will give you a hint in that one of the mistakes that I will point out isn't actually a mistake. It's more just like you could probably word this a better way. But there are a good number of actual mistakes in here, more than just like 5 or 6. Okay, so try to identify them all. And once you unpause the video, I will give you a answer as to how many there are. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the number of mistakes that are in this paragraph. Okay, obviously some of these have been highlighted and underlined by Microsoft Word, Microsoft Word, listen to me, by Google Docs. But here on the side, I have commented every single error. Okay, now if you scroll through and count these, you're going to find 14, but one of these is for 2 missing commas. So if you said 14, if you said about 13, 14, or 15 errors, give yourself a pat on the back, because that's how many there are. Okay. I am not going to go through every single one of these errors and correct them with you, but I am going to point out how to address this. Okay. Now, if you are looking at this for the first time and saying, oh my gosh, I need to revise my essay and there's so many problems with it. Okay. No, don't do that. Instead, I am going to give you some feedback. I'm going to give you some specifics about what you need to revise. And then that's all you need to revise. Just the things that I point out to you. So if I say, hey, you have a problem with commas, or you have a problem with punctuation, or this sentence needs organization. So one person that I responded to, their second paragraph was very good, but overall they were missing a lot of details. So if they're missing details, that means they need to write more. That means they need to add information. So if they go back and edit all of the problems right now and then add details, those details that they added are still going to have problems that they're going to need to go back and edit. And they're going to be in this big circle. And that's no fun. Okay. Instead, add the information that you need to add and then go back and edit. So let's look at this. When I see this and look for the number one problem, overall, it is word choice and spelling. Okay. And I think that's a pretty common error for a lot of people. Word choice and spelling is not very good. But before I make any edits to spelling and everything, I really need to make sure that I want to include all these sentences. Okay. So I'm going to go through here, find all the spelling and all the word problems. So right here, Split infinitive, missing comma. Yeah, so split infinitive is the first one here. I remember when I was 7 years old behind the basketball courts, my mom first taught us how to play ball. Okay. The problem here is that what it should say is, I remember when I was 7 years old, my mom first taught us how to play ball behind the basketball courts. This is in the wrong place. So I'm going to take this out. My mom first taught us how to play ball. There we go. Now it's in the right place. Okay, so I'm going to select that and boom, now that's fixed. All right. I remember when I was 7 years old, my mom first taught us how to play ball behind the basketball courts. She could shoot from the 3-point line, and we thought she was so cool. Now, I'm not going to fix this comma error because I'm not currently looking for comma errors, okay? Yes, there is one there, but I'm not doing that. We thought she was so cool. Maybe this was a mistake. Maybe I didn't mean to write so twice, but maybe I'm doing it for emphasis. We thought she was so cool. Now, if that's the case, I'm going to want to let the reader know that that was on purpose. We thought she was so, and then I'm going to add some italics. So cool. Now we no longer have a problem with this. Okay, so I'm gonna check mark this deleted word, this extra word, and there we go. It was a long time before we could match her shot for shot. So you see here, improper language, wrong word, right? You see how many problems there are here with the word choice? This is why I need to go through and fix them. So let's go to the wrong word. Before we could match, right? This should have a T in it, match. But M-A-C-H is actually a word. It's Mach, as in the speed that aircraft travel when they're traveling faster than the speed of sound. It's measured in Mach. But we're not looking for Mach. We're looking for the word match. Okay, so we're going to check that off. It was a long time before. See this? That is definitely improper language. We should be saying before. Now, you might be laughing at the fact that I said B4 with the letter and number, but again, I have actually received essays with that kind of writing that's not even close to acceptable. I will send it right back to you if I see writing like that. I will not even continue reading the essay. It'll just go right back to you. When my brother joined the team, okay, so let's see here. Wrong word, taught him. Now look at this, right? It's aware that I'm trying to say taught, but again, T-A-U-T is actually a word, all right? So you have to be careful here. You might, as you're writing, you might be writing a word that is real and spelled correctly, but it's not the right one. But then, so let's look at this. But then my mom showed up at practice and recognized her. Okay. We don't need the but here. We can just say then. That's an unnecessary conjunction. And if we do that, I would probably recommend adding a comma. But we're not doing that. So we're just focusing on the word usage. Wouldn't you know it? The coach used to go to school with my mom. So this is one of those things that could be a mistake, might not be. It depends on whether or not you want your author's voice to come across. Okay, personally, this phrase, wouldn't you know it? I think it's kind of a waste of space. It doesn't really add anything. It's not a fun line. It doesn't add emphasis like she was so cool. Okay, it's just I just don't like this phrase. Okay, I don't think it really adds a lot. But maybe that's just the way you talk. Okay, and that's fine. So you know what? If you want to defend it, you can defend it, and I'll resolve that without actually changing anything. And that is what revision is all about. Going back through and deciding what to keep and what to cut, what you like and what you don't. The coach used to go to school with my mom. Okay. So spelling, right? We obviously need to fix that for with. So resolved, missing comma, missing capital, missing apostrophe, and spelling. Let's go back to the spelling. That I won't talk, not tlack. Okay. And that's it. As you can see, I still have errors here, but if I told you to fix your word choice and then you returned an essay like this, I would be very, very happy with that. Yes, there are still problems, and yes, there are still very obvious errors, but I didn't ask you to fix those right away. Okay, so you only fixed the errors that you needed to. At the bottom here, it says, I guess I won't talk back next time she's waiting for me to stop talking to my friends at the bus stop. All right. This is how the person ends their little story about their mom. But I don't think this is a very good ending. In revision, we want to do more than just fix mistakes. We want to read back over and decide, you know what? I think we can do better here. So this story starts out remembering a time on the basketball court, and then it ends about some comment about a bus stop. It doesn't really make sense. So instead, I'm going to add a little comment here. And we wondered if we'd ever go home. And I'm just going to take that out completely. I decided I don't like that line. They talked and joked and laughed all practiced, and we wondered if we'd ever go home. Eventually, we did go home. And the first thing we did was invite my mom back out onto the court to show us all her skills again, just like when we were 7. All right. And this is how we're ending the story instead, because it gives us conclusion. It takes this tale and goes right back around to the beginning. And you know, it helps us wrap that up. But if you're aware, you'll notice that there's actually a problem with this line as well. Just like when we were 7. But wait a minute, I thought you were 7. Nowhere in here do I actually describe that time has passed. Oh my gosh, how did I mess that up? Now I have to go back through and decide where I want to add this, where I want to add that organization. Well, if there's a big jump in time, I should probably make that a paragraph change, right? It was a long time before we could match her shot for shot. Paragraph break. I'm going to tab that in. When my brother and I joined a team 2 years later, he told his coach that he told the coach. You see this? You see how I'm making these big changes now? This is now a very different story. Now it has a conclusion. Now it takes place over several years instead of just a couple of moments. These are huge changes. And if you noticed, let me go back. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Undo all this. Look at what happened in this last sentence. Ready? Oh, I guess I won't talk back next time. Oh, look, there's changes that I could have made. I guess I won't, right? I should have added an apostrophe here, but I ended up getting rid of that sentence. Okay. And since I ended up getting rid of that sentence, I didn't actually need to change anything. All right. I didn't need to make any edits because I deleted it completely. All right. I probably should have made these changes to the whole thing before I changed the spelling, but sometimes it's even hard to read your paper when the spelling is that bad. So I totally get why you'd have to do that. But now we've made another revision and the story has changed rather dramatically. This is what I want to see when I tell you to revise a paper. I don't want you to fix like 2 little problems and send it back to me. I want to see big changes. I want to see you commit to those changes that I ask from you. Okay, but those changes are focused on the 1 or 2 big problems that you have. When you go back and edit, that's when you come through and you fix all those missing commas and you add what you need to add and you change all that spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Okay. Hopefully this has helped you get a better grasp of what I'm asking you to do and given you some good advice on how to revise your papers. All right. If you have questions, please email me or pop into one of the live sessions. This is going to take a little while and you might end up behind in Edgenuity because of the number of times that you need to revise. But I don't think that's a problem. I think you should get it done right rather than just pass with the bare minimum. All right. We'll see you later.